What's good, peeps? Self-isolation day 4. I feel like I'm getting used to this now. I feel like I'm getting a little routine going. I wake up, I have a fresh, I make myself a coffee, I sit down, I record some videos, I edit some videos, I watch a bit of Netflix, I cook. I really eat late in the day, by the way. So I don't necessarily have breakfast. I kind of skip breakfast and I normally eat around 2. If I go gym, then yeah, I eat. But if I don't go gym, then I don't really tend to eat breakfast. I do a little workout in the house. I've got some dumbbells. I might go for a walk today. I might just put the headphones on and go for a long walk, like an hour plus. So yeah, just to stretch the legs. But we'll see. Yesterday, sorry, one sec. Yesterday, I did a video, and I think a lot of people liked it. Thank you, people. 2020 champs versus 2010 champs. Now, the idea of that video was for it to be a series. So 2020 versus 2010, then 2020 versus 2000, 2020 versus 1990, and 2020 versus 1980. I'm not going to go any lower than that because I don't know much about boxing. Anyway, as I was going through the 2000 list, and I'll read it out to you in a minute, I then quickly realized that maybe nobody from 2020 gets in. It could be a clean fucking sweep, people. A few people have asked me to go a bit lower with the weight classes. So obviously when I done the 2000, I think I stopped at 135. So when I done the 2020, I stopped at 135. So just a quick reminder of the boxers in 2020. Not that you should need reminding because we are in 2020 now, so you should know. But these are the boxers I chose. I chose Tyson Fury at heavyweight. Some people weren't happy about that, said it should be AJ, but come on, people. No, Bradis at cruiserweight, Bertabiev light heavy, Callum Smith super middle, Canelo middle. Some people questioned that as well. Actually, no, one person questioned that because obviously Canelo last fought at 175 and it looks like he'll fight at 168. We don't know it, but Canelo is still the ring recognized #1 at middle. 154, Jamel Charlo. 147, Errol Spence. I would have preferred Terence Crawford, but Errol Spence. 140, Josh Taylor over Ramirez. 135, Loma. That's where I stopped. So going a bit lower, let's go 130, Miguel Bichelt, sorry. 126, who are we going to go? 126. 126. Gary Russell Jr., I think makes sense. Am I getting that wrong? Weights? No, Gary Russell Jr. I mean, so there's Josh Warrington, Shakur Stevenson, and Gary Russell Jr. is a WBC champ. I think he's been in the division the longest. So even though I think he's going to move up, but we'll go with Gary Russell Jr. And 122, Inoue. I don't think anyone is going to argue with that. Super Bantam. So those are the guys, right? I'm not joking to you, people. Can any of those guys get in? I'm not even fucking playing about. 2000, if there is a decade, so 1990, better than 2000, I'd be shocked. 1990 is going to come close. But 2000 is frightening. So let me tee this up by having a coffee. All right. So heavyweight, Lennox Lewis. See where I'm going here? I mean, I like Fury. I like Fury a lot. But Lennox Lewis, some people have Lennox Lewis as a top 5 all-time heavyweight. Lennox Lewis back in 2000 had just beaten Evander Holyfield. What can I tell you? I mean, we're getting excited about Fury beating Wilder. Lennox Lewis had just beaten Evander Holyfield. Evander Holyfield, everyone has as a top 10 heavyweight of all time. So next. Cruiserweight, Juan Carlos Gomez. What can I tell you? Bradis hasn't got a chance. Doesn't have a chance. I don't know. You know what it is? For those of you, my young viewers, because I know I've got some young viewers, do your research. Do your research on this one. Juan Carlos Gomez was unbeaten as a cruiserweight, right? He only lost when he went up to heavyweight. He had like 14, I'm wrong here, I think 14 or 15 defenses of his WBC hit crown. 14 or 15. He only lost when he went up to, he even had a couple of big wins, by the way, at heavyweight. He beat Oliver McCourt at heavyweight. Unanimous decision. Beat him. Lost to Klitschko, and then he lost a couple more times as, again, just coming to the end of his career. I mean, there were other cruiserweights around at that time, Johnny Nelson, but everyone knows Juan Carlos Gomez was the man. Even as an amateur, I think he won the World Junior Championships. 2-0. Light heavy, I guess the least I say the best, Roy Jones Jr. See what I'm getting? It's fucking stacked. Roy Jones Jr. And what? Bertabiev over Roy Jones? Stop it. Don't waste your time. Super middle, Joe Calzaghe. This is a ridiculous era. And by the way, Joe Calzaghe. What am I going to tell you? What? Who was our super middle? Our super middle is Callum Smith. All right. Middle, Hopkins. Hopkins is top 3 middleweight of all time. Of all time. Hopkins would just, it would outbox. Anyway, next, 154 pounds, Felix Trinidad. This is the greatest era of boxing. And by the way, I am picking the champs, guys. I'm not joking. This is 2000. So I'm not trying to drag someone that might have been doing something in 2003 and use that as an excuse. No, this is 2000. Felix Trinidad, 154 pounds. Against Jamel Charlo, fucking run through him. Run through him. Hot knife through butter. 147, you could make an argument here. I know some people are going to do it. Sugar Shane Mosley. The Sugar Shane Mosley. Unbeaten Sugar Shane Mosley. Shane Mosley just jumped up and beat Oscar De La Hoya. That Sugar Shane Mosley. Shane Mosley might have been on there, but regardless, unbeaten Sugar Shane Mosley. I mean, look, that might be a question mark. That might be one where people are like, Errol might have the chance. I will say this. Errol's a bit bigger, nowhere near as fast. And I mean, Shane was powerful back then. Shane, he was built a bit different, obviously, because of, whatever. But he was built differently. So that might be one where people say, he's got a chance. I don't think so. I think Shane wins. And maybe I'm just, being, I don't know, going back to my era. Because this is kind of, 20 years ago, this is when I fell in love with the sport. So maybe I'm just like, I don't know, romanticizing over these guys. But for me, Shane beats Errol. For me, I could understand how some people would say, no, he doesn't. But for me, he does. That's just my personal opinion. All right. 140, Costa Zoo. What do you want me to tell you? We're going to say Josh Taylor beats Costa Zoo. 2000 Costa Zoo. Not 2000, 2000, not 2006 Costa Zoo, who Ricky Hatton beat. 2000 Costa Zoo. No. Remember Costa Zoo that made Zab Judah do the skanky leg? Not that Costa Zoo, my friend. Not that Costa Zoo. 135. All right. I think everyone was waiting for this one. Vasyl Lomachenko, obviously we know 2020. 135 king at the time, or I say king, but 135 champ at the time was Jose Luis Castillo. Yeah. Now Castillo, to be fair, up until 2000 had I'm gonna say about 4 or 5 losses, right? And he'd been stopped a couple of times as well, up until that time. But let's not forget, this is the Castillo that everyone thought beat Floyd Mayweather. I didn't. I watched it back a couple of times. But I mean, you look at people's scorecards, independent people's scorecards around that time, he beat Floyd. He beat the Floyd. Not Floyd at 147. Not that Floyd. No, not Floyd coming to the Floyd. Peak Floyd Mayweather. Everyone says Castillo beat him. So are you going to tell me if he can beat peak Floyd Mayweather, he doesn't have a chance against Loma? And by the way, this isn't even Loma's weight class. Loma should be fighting 2 weight classes below for me. And he's getting kind of... So basically what I'm trying to get at, sorry, I'm stuttering now, is that If Linares can cause Loma problems, he did. If Luke Campbell can cause him some problems, he did. Even if Pedraza caused him a couple of problems, he did. Don't tell me Castillo ain't causing him problems. I'm going Loma to win. I am. But don't tell me Castillo isn't causing him problems. All right. So we'll give 1 to 2020. 130, who we got for 2020? Okay, Bashel. 130 at the time. Boy. 130 king at the time was inserted Floyd Mayweather Jr. Next. 126. Who have I gone for here on the 2020? I've gone for Gary Russell Jr. I'm sorry, Gary Russell Jr. You do not have a hope in hell because you're coming up against Eric Morales, who in and around that time had beaten Barrera. You don't have a sniff. You don't. You don't. And last but not least, 122, Inoue, coming up against Manny Pacquiao. What a list, people. Wait, 1 second. Hold up. Now, Inoue can punch. I think we know that. Is he as fast as Pac-Man? No. Can he punch as hard as Pac-Man? I don't think so. Not for me. So I would always go Pac-Man. I would always. Even though I think Pac-Man's best year is probably when he went up to 126 and had those wars with Morales, Barrera, etc., Marquez. But I'm getting Pac-Man every day of the week in that fight. I think we saw... I was a bit surprised. I mean, a lot of credit has gone to Donaire, but I was still a bit surprised about the Inoue-Donaire fight, if I'm honest with you. I'm not going to say he exposed Inoue because Inoue won that fight regardless, right? Credit. But I was still shocked that Donaire was able to push Inoue that much, especially a Donaire that is 10 years past his best. So that shocked me. So again, I think I've gone, I don't know how many weight classes this is, but I've gone 1. And that 1 is Loma over Castillo. Even though, again, that was the Castillo that people thought beat Floyd. Just remember that. Again, let's read through 2000s champions. If there's a better era in boxing of champions at the time, so again, I'm not, just to be clear what I'm doing here, I'm not like looking for someone in 2002 and saying, oh, they had a belt 2000. No, I'm looking at exactly 2000. Lennox Lewis, heavyweight. Juan Carlos Gomez, cruiserweight. Roy Jones Jr., light heavy. Joe Calzaghe, super middle. Bernard Hopkins, middle. This is ridiculous. Felix Trinidad, 154. Sugar Shane Mosley, 147. Costa Zoo, 140. Castillo, 135. And then it just gets ridiculous. Floyd, 130. Morales, 126. Manny Pacquiao, 122. Now, all the Hall of Famers, by the way. Who's not going to be a Hall of Famer on that list? No one. I don't think... Look, it's difficult, right? Because this was an era of boxing where people fought each other, right? People fought each other. I mean, even look on that list and you've got matchups, right? Castillo eventually fought Floyd. Morales fought Pac-Man. Hopkins fought Trinidad. Joe Calzaghe fought Hopkins. You know what I mean? It's literally, Hopkins fought Roy Jones Jr. It's an era when everyone fought everyone. Doesn't happen now. Doesn't happen. This era is a joke. Doesn't happen. So maybe I'm waxing lyrical about this era, but that era, you probably can't see that. This ain't gonna get beaten. That's incredible. I can't wait to do the 1990s, but 2000s, incredible. Like, it's so incredible. Am I still recording? Thank God I am. It's so incredible. Who do you pick as the best from that era? I mean, you legitimately, is that what? Yeah. You could have, so there's how many? You could have, like if someone says Roy Jones, okay, I'm not going to argue with that. If someone says, no, Morales, I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to argue with you, sir. Someone says Tito. Tito, Felix Trinidad for a lot of people is their best fighter. Someone says Bernard. Take it. Someone says Pac-Man. I'll say no, not at that time. Someone says Lennox. You're gonna argue that? You're gonna argue that? No, not me. Joe Calzaghe. We're done. We're done, peeps. Peace. Guys, sorry, it's me again. I'm back. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Also, please like and share the videos. It really does help the channel a lot. And if you want to support the channel, I do have a Patreon account. The link is in the description. All right, I'm done. Peace.